Hello, my human family. I am glad to have on Alex, especially known as Ozma in the Dark online. Um, Ozma in the Dark is what she's known as online. I knew I was going to mess that up.
It's okay.
it's um, we are both in a new project called Fluid Voice, which is a trans topic group, which it has been wonderful to hang out and do every Friday. Cross
Yeah.
promotion, cross promotion, cross promotion. But meantime, say I, I don't have a special thing. This is somebody I met online and I've gotten on
Yeah.
well with since day one. So
Yeah. How did you meet me?
on Twitter.
Okay. The
Uh,
mysterious place where I meet everyone. No, that's not true. There are several people met on Discord. So uh,
well, it's one of those
yes,
things.
I'm in the middle. Sorry, my roommate decided to open my door and ask if I was streaming.
Was that virus?
What? Oh no, my his girlfriend opened the door and asked if I was streaming. And
Oh,
like
okay.
like in the middle of the area. Yeah.
I always warn the entire house when I'm about to be online, and they go, "Yeah, so you're quiet. You're just quiet in there
Okay.
anyway."
The cat was sneaky. But okay, so the cat had snuck in my room at one point.
So this is pretty much how this is going. Wait, we don't get Kitty. I want a Kitty.
No, I'm sorry. Um, Kitty was likely about to try to leave for food, so
I'm
he's
so.
not gonna. Yeah, it was funny when he showed up on Friday.
Well, I always try and open with an odd question, so I've got
Right.
one if you want, since we missed the presence of Cat. Where are you on the scale between Cat Girl? Because we're trans, where are you on the scale between Cat Girl and Crazy Old Cat Lady?
Um, I I am like 100% on cat girl side. I'm just nice to cats. And yeah, I think cats are cute, but like I need I need the cat ears and tail, is what I'm saying.
the I There we go. So the as you know, I'm starting to head towards Crazy Old Cat Lady apparently, but um,
Yeah.
the the usual question, as I say at the beginning of all, is who are you and why do you do what you do?
Hi, I'm Alexandra, also known as Ozma in the Dark. Um, what I do, what I do the most is the stream. I'm getting more into YouTube um, on the podcast weekly that you're also on.
We'll get to that in a
Um,
second.
uh, I draw some. I'm still trying to finish the drawings for the. Uh, I really wanted to have drawings of the characters for the a YouTube version of the D&D stream that I do uh, sometimes on on Saturday. Um, so uh, I just keep delaying it or getting distracted by other stuff. Like I'm fairly far into drawing the main character. It's not like I don't know how to draw at all. Like I drew out most of I scanned it in because my pad for drawing online doesn't work, and then I've been filling it in. But like, yeah, it should be fit. I'm more than capable of finishing it today potentially if I
Well,
if I buckle down on it.
and
Um,
the one thing is always, yeah, starting stuff is easy. That's the finishing that's hard.
yeah,
Which you can take any way you like.
yeah, and the book that I still haven't finished. I made a made up language for the book, but I haven't finished the book.
Well,
I know what the character stories are going to be. I know the general journeys that they're going to go on. Not like all the details, but the general, like, this book is going to be about this. This book is going to be about this. This book is going to be about this. I still haven't finished the first book, though.
I can give you tips offline. That's on how to actually get through that.
Well, the thing is, I know stuff. The problem is, there's too many different things I want to do. Like if I just start writing, I'll write a bunch. I just need to. Uh, I just like well, from the YouTube video that was gonna be up yesterday, the video didn't render, so it's just yeah. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and it's hard to um, I'm trying to finish a bunch of short term stuff. I mean, not just that, like life stuff as well. On top of that,
Oh well, life stuff is overrated. Uh,
no, I'm trying to get a disability. That's not overrated.
no, it's a pain in the ass actually. Uh,
Yeah.
I I was lucky enough to pass out in my lawyer's office, so that helps.
I mean, like I'm going through a process. The people helping out are, I think they're the ones asking for another psych evaluation or whatnot. And it's just like, 6 months after dealing with stuff. Or maybe it's the government that needs the psych evaluation. I don't know. I forgot. I forgot about the paperwork. But
it,
also legal name change too is yeah.
Thankfully, in New York, that is a very it's a much easier process. And I was born in New York State, so
Oh
uh,
yeah, no. It's easy. It's an easy process here. Actually, it's just gonna come up. It should be really fun because both my parents will be there.
no. Well,
So yeah, like
may
that's a guaranteed yes. Like what is the judge gonna do? Argue with the parents about my name?
that's an interesting way. The you I, I'm in the strange position, as I've told people, of being a trans parent of a trans parent of a trans son. So, um, who is turning 18 the same day I turned 55 because we have the same birthday, which is fun.
Yeah,
Um, and he's it's gonna be easy. It turns out it's easier if we just wait a few weeks and let him do the name change then, because otherwise there's like tons more paperwork involved, and even if we say it's okay, both the parents are on board, so we're fine. Uh, yeah. Oh yeah. I
yeah.
reject you. I reject you, my trans child. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, ideally, you don't like, you know, you don't Blair White the situation or something. Blair White was in
Oh yeah. Uh oh, the poor sweet summer gal she is. Blair White, my favorite. Um no. My
Uh,
my kid came out to me. It was a few months before I came out. The first question was, "Are you mad at me?" And it was like, because I must have had some kind of really weird look on my face, and I was like, "How did you get the strength to do the thing I couldn't do?" You know. So
yeah. No, that's. Uh, I mean, coming out's always hard. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, not always hard. Some people have it easy, but like for a lot of people, it's hard, even if you know because of culturally how we are or how America is or whatnot. It's just easy to be afraid, regardless of if your parents are the type who would you know speak of it negatively or whatnot. It's still scary. It's like inherently scary.
Oh yeah. Um. The well. How how did you do it? What did you do?
Um, I don't remember. I legit don't remember the exact circumstances of that. Uh, uh, wait, you remember? Go on, Boom Clank. Person who knows me, in real life.
Okay, for my audience over here, Ozma is streaming on Twitch live this thing I'm putting on my channel recorded. So she's getting real time feedback. Uh, so I'm sort of gonna wait a tiny bit. I mean,
Well, I mean, oh yeah, coming to you maybe. Uh, I did say that. I did tell my. I did tell her uh, that it's okay for her to mention to friends for me, so I don't have to come out to them. Essentially,
the
uh,
I mean, mine was pretty not pretty easy. It's one of those the not any. I almost exactly zero people were surprised. So,
yeah,
I um I've on a we are both on the podcast the fluid voice. I'm sure I said that at the beginning of the thing. But I read the thing that
yeah,
finally got me to come out, which was just a random person on Twitter of all things. Um, but the the process is always like in different stages because you're coming out to everybody all the time. There's no one coming out. Although I tried to make all the stages as quick, as together as I could. I, I don't know.
oh,
You're you've said before too that you have like very leftist parents. So
yes, which is how I can dealing with brushing my teeth, get randomly get the international stuck in my head. I heard that way too much as a kid.
Oh, very, very leftist.
Yes, very left.
No, the
With attitudes similar to Bernie Sanders in terms of like not judging people or whatnot.
oh, yes, we've now the I know I've talked to you before specifically, but in general talked a lot about having a Nazi stepfather, literal Nazi stepfather, and my
Yeah.
mom, who I never talk about, is very leftist. Although one of the things she said to me early on, she said she never quite understood the hippies being a hippie though, because why can't you go to a protest with nicely manicured nails? Is one of the things I remember.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either, which is why I've never actually repeated it again. It's the one.
But yeah, back to about me stealing all the attention. No, I'm just
Yeah, go on. I'm trying to.
yeah, no. We're having a conversation. I'm being weird.
Reticent. You're being reticent. I figured I'm trying to throw just odd shit out because
Yeah.
eventually my entire story will be able to be told from little things I've said to get other people to talk.
Yeah. Born in, I also had a cold, snowy day in Minnesota. I was not born in Minnesota. I was born in Wisconsin. And B, it was a hot day because I was born in August.
February in Southampton, New York.
Okay, so you were born on the cold, snowy day.
I was born on the way to the hospital, so. Yes.
Yeah. So, we were not recording when I mentioned the reason for Ozma in the Dark. When I mentioned that,
yeah,
I used Ozma and Tipitarius a bunch because of the second book in the Wizard of Oz series. Because Tipitarius realizes that she is in fact Ozma, Princess of Oz.
Just as a test thing, I went downstairs and asked my ex-wife. I said, "A person I'm having on today goes by Ozma, and she's a trans person. Can you figure out why?" And she went, "No." And I said, "Did you read Land of Oz, right?" She's, "Oh," which is pretty much what happened when you told me. So.
Yeah, I know. It's just like because people don't think about it much because it's old literary, yeah, and so yeah, people are used to the Sistorio stuff. They're just like, oh, it's just a fantastical story. But it's like practically a trans metaphor. Like it's a really good trans metaphor.
Yeah.
Suspiciously good.
Now, and I'm wondering why that. I've wondered for years why that is my favorite of the Oz books.
I know that was.
I always thought it was the moose couch thing. That I can't remember what it's called.
Oh fuck! Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
The gumph. Sorry, brain damaging over here. But yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I so wish I'd thought of it.
Um, yeah, well, uh, I see. I use Tipitarius if Ozma is taken because no one uses that. That's like even less well known.
Well, just tip is fine.
Well, I mean that's what Tipitarius goes by, just tip. But like,
Yeah,
I just mean like when you're creating player names and stuff, and it's like, oh, you can only do unique player names, and you're just like, okay, let me try and see if there's I can put an actual name in that hasn't been used.
that's I I adore that. By the way, I really do, and I meant to tell you that before. It was kind of like uh, it was. Yeah, I so wish I'd thought. That's all I can say to it is I wish I'd thought of it. Which you don't know me. It's an extreme compliment.
I'll take your word for it.
It's okay. I fine. I will actually explain. There's when I say I wish I'd written something or I wish I'd thought of something. That means a few things. That means I could have done it. Um, there's some likelihood I would have, and that I actually appreciate it for what it is as well. So it's got that three things. If I say I wish I'd thought of it,
Gotcha. That makes sense, actually.
so very few things get that compliment.
Yeah, well, you've written like way more than I have. It took me forever to figure out how to actually write a book. I know I'm not finished with my book. Technically, I've only got like, I don't know, 25,000 words. Um, I need to, there's some stuff I need to, or I want to flesh out and add a little to, just to get done. It's like third copy or a third draft or whatever. I don't, I don't count all the minor edits I do as separate drafts. But yeah, I don't know. I was stuck with short stories for a while. I can't remember why. Like I couldn't picture the ending. Maybe it's because of survival mode or something. Because I was like, um, because I know my situation. I knew my situation wasn't gonna last forever, and I can't always get help from people. So it's like, you know, um, it's it's very easy to be focused on how to, uh, yeah, what's going to help you make money and live, and doing that, it's hard to write a book because you get stuck on the first problem, and you're like, I, you're like, how does this person get out of this one? I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do for like the middle part, you know. And then yeah, I don't know. Leaving an emotionally abusive former friendship, and I had a full story with a beginning, middle, and end. Which, by the way, I haven't even come close to finishing that story. I just wanted to get better at writing before finishing that story. But I had like an actual summary. I knew what every chapter was going to be. I knew how it was going to end. I knew the moral and the general idea of it. And I don't know, maybe it's because I did something good for myself, and so there was something to look forward to. I don't know.
Writing is well to even talk about writing. It's a strange process, and I've tried to explain my process to other people, and most of the time it's snores. or okay, that sounds really boring.
Now I'm curious, what is your writing process?
Uh, okay, it's basically I will have a beginning, and it's the same for short stories as for anything longer. I have a beginning, an ending. I write the beginning, then I write the ending, and then I write at least one scene in the middle, and everything else sort of goes through those things. So if it's a 1,200 word or 88,000 word, it's the same process.
Um, yeah, so with my story is like a weird thing, and everyone's got their own process for what makes them comfortable writing, because everyone's different with their writing. So I had a general idea of what the end would be, and I was just like, I don't know, I was just very, let's see where this goes to get to the ending, and just anything could happen, whatever felt right for the story. So it's like, oh, well, now that this happened, and what happened with my story is like a major event happened, and I was like, well, it can't be a short story now. Like, I have to continue this shit on. Like, this is not a good place to end it.
uh,
So then I thought of a different ending, um, and then I had to write a lot more. But yeah,
I that
yeah,
that'll happen. I mean, the thing I'm working on now, and we talked about it, and it's very late, and if Steven is ever watching this, I promise I will be getting it to you soon. Um, um, one of the reasons why it didn't work when I first wrote it is that the ending was wrong, because I wrote to an ending that I thought was the right one. I said, okay, but this story does need to continue from here. So I wrote the first chapter of what I thought was going to be a sequel, and that was the ending, and that's what told me it was a trans thing, and I just put it away for years. So
yeah,
uh, anything trans I didn't want to deal with for years. So that's
understandable. That was, yeah. I didn't deal with a lot of my time stuff for years. Um, or well, I didn't know how to. Uh, so I suppose it's not completely fair, but yeah, no. Sometimes it is like with characters and stuff. You're just like, I know this character; they would totally do this, but like, I don't know. I also have the general idea, so it's just like, okay, okay, this will happen, and this character not guaranteed to survive. I'll maybe decide if they live through this later. Depends on what makes a good story. Uh, Mine's a fantasy story that it's almost science fantasy
sure.
in the way I'm thinking about it. Like, I want to do an entire series that goes through like different ages. So um, uh, there's a so people can heal people with magic, but they don't understand anything about medicine. So it's just like they do. There's some things where they do it and it works, but like they don't really understand it. Which, by the way, I wrote an entire, or I worked on writing some snippets of a medical book for the fantasy universe, so I'd understand what they would think about the medicine there. Read a bunch of uh, fuck, I can't remember the name of the medical novels. The Greek one, there's an ancient Indian one, which I think I use the most. And there's an ancient Chinese medicine novel, or not medical text, in terms of qi and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? Just mash this all together and do what makes sense, what they would think based off the universe, where there is magic. You can gain magical ability, and it's a thing. It's an energy that exists in this universe. So but like if you, depending on how it's used, I want to try to do tertiary effects and whatnot. And yeah, the other big inspiration is True Grit, which seems like
the book or the movie.
I don't know. I've only watched the movie. I mean, technically, like, I just mean in terms of like the certain kind of style of Western where they're going after like a specific goal, but it's very much a trying to survive the elements and stuff.
Oh, okay.
While chasing after a goal. I mean, it's a mild inspiration. It's not like a major inspiration, but like there are little bits of that because I wanted to do like an American novel, an American fantasy novel, and I still I want to make it not feel like any real culture or any current culture, but kind of also feel like all of them.
Yeah, talking about other people's processes is sometimes like I don't know what to ask next on.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by talking about the writing that I never get.
It's no, I get it. The thing I'm the thing I'm working on is essentially an urban fantasy in which somebody I mean, it's a quest fantasy in its own right, but her quest is to find out who the hell she is and who the hell she was. And it's based roughly on a book you might have read from 1904. Which was my favorite.
No clue what you're talking about.
It honest to God is roughly based on it's roughly based on Land of Oz, but
yeah, which is awesome because I can't think of I can't think of any story that I want to write based off of it. So it'd be nice to read.
It's some of the thematic elements. It's not. It's mostly in structure and theme, and which is not realizing it was a trans novel is one of the things that really threw me, because it's all over the place in it.
Yeah.
I think because I've been out at various times during my life, which is a strange thing to say, but I think I was out at that. I was out again at that point. I've been out. I kept going back in for various reasons.
Yeah.
This time it's taking because I have breasts now. So.
Yeah. Well, they are I would say they're the deciding factor. Uh, Fun fact: more than anything, I just wanted to like I just wanted the HRT to move towards gender confirming surgery. So I was like, well, if I can't pass and I don't want to deal with that, um, I can buy. I I looked up ways to flatten my breasts to hide them.
Oh, I never thought of going stealth. By the way, this was never an option for me. So, uh,
But stealth the other way.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even the hiding. I have a friend who went through the process of the living as except for at work, and then taking the HRT for another year and hiding everything at work. And it's like I can't, or and in most of her real life, and I can't even conceive of this. This was not. I came out. I came out. I jumped.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also it also helps the sort of friends that you have, because um, if if you're surrounded by people who aren't going to do it, because my dad was like the worst at supporting my gender at home, and then like after moving with um, uh, my ex, who's one of my roommates. Um, uh, like I don't know, there just wasn't a lot of uh, there wasn't a lot of people not referring to me as a guy. So like it was hard to be motivated. Like even if they knew, like there still wasn't a lot of gender confirming statements. It's just like it's hard to be out completely if you don't feel comfortable being out to your friends.
Yeah. Well, I lost a bunch. I'm sure you did too.
I did for different reasons. I did because they're no, not for coming out, but definitely for because I didn't have a lot of friends, so
hmm.
um, they're more likely to deal with me. But I did uh, end a friendship because of his emotionally abusive attitude, and so that helped a lot. Um, Getting fired from 3M did not help.
No, probably not. Um, if I mean you've got well, I have another. I have a trans friend. I have another friend in Minnesota who had to go through who went through some pretty horrid misgendering and them trying to force her out when she, you know, was public.
Yeah, no, my parents didn't try to force me out or anything. My dad was just bad at it.
Oh no,
My mom tried.
I meant
Uh,
the job, not the.
oh, gotcha. Yeah. Funny enough, like thinking about it, uh, it took me a while to understand why I got fired from 3M, um, or process it. Uh, and I was worried about it being because I was trans, but no, it's likely because of their an OSHA violation
Oh,
by a
okay.
long-term employee. So, but I didn't know for sure because it was like 6 months after, and I was just like, um, and it was out of the blue, so like those are the scariest. I
Yeah,
mean, it's out of the blue because they didn't have to pay as much money, but like I didn't think about that.
it's you know I I I have no idea. I'm one. My job history is weird because I take jobs when I need money, and or I want to learn something. So, which is what I'm doing recently. Um,
Um,
not
yeah,
not to want to learn something. The I need money. uh, almost. Um, yeah. Are I know you're trying to situate in disability, so that
yeah,
that takes a while. How
it does. Uh, um, I haven't even gotten to the point where they reject the claim.
well, they don't always. They didn't reject mine
I
on
know
the
they don't. I
first.
know they don't always. Um, I just it's common enough that it needs an appeal that
Yeah, one of the um, one of the fun things they did here, and it seems so much on purpose. The person who does the paperwork before you go in for the interview uh, for disability, the person who does the paper is um, a legless man in a wheelchair with one arm and one of his eyes patched over.
yeah.
And it's like, can you say you're disabled and get past this guy? It had so. I mean, he was a very nice gentleman. I'm not trying to insult him in any way, and his I'm sure he had
Well, you
difficulty,
know,
but it had such a final boss feel about it. You know,
yeah. Well, I mean that. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, that's tough.
uh, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm also in a weird situation because so uh, my doctor mentioned my problems or whatnot, and because of that, I got kicked off of general assistance because they don't want someone who has disability potential to be on general assistance.
yeah, same here.
So it's just like, uh, so I just got kicked off general assistance. I'm like, well, that's probably better for me being able to officially get disability.
Actually, yeah. Um, it would be nice if on disability they would let me work more than I think it's 15 hours I can work in a week, which fine. Um, I can do, but that's how much I work on my own. So mm, it's disability is a messy thing, and they should make it easier for people to get off of it, if that makes sense. Um,
Um,
if they have the ability to get off of it, which fine. I was still in a wheelchair. Was still passing out at random intervals at the time. So I'm getting
yeah,
better.
yeah. No, I I don't even know what. yeah, I don't even know with me because like um, yeah, I've got a weird situation
Yeah,
being on the autism spectrum and just always struggling with being able to work and take care of myself. It's just like to some degree the traumatic brain injury is an excuse to deal with the problem I always
oh yeah,
had. Because I've had two full-time jobs that have lasted 9 months. That's all the full-time work I've had that hasn't been temp work, like short-term temp work. So um, yeah, I don't have an example of me ever working, and not just that. I have roommates. I've always had roommates.
yeah,
So yeah, and like I feel like if I'm I could theoretically work a full time job and but I think all the other time would be taking care of myself and I couldn't do anything else.
yeah. That
And that would just break me psychologically. And then I would get fired. And then yeah.
that's well. I tried to after the strokes. I tried to go back to work, and it was not happening. Um, the last job I had, I literally did pass out right as I was taking something to the copy machine. I just fell. That was it, and they fired me, which they're not supposed to do, but they did. So
Yeah. Well, companies tend to do that.
it's
Stuff that they're not supposed to do.
yeah. I mean, Viva la Revolution and all.
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Otherwise there's gonna be problems.
I want to. You say I'm really big on the idea of found family. Um, my family isn't close generally. I'm close to my mom now, which I never was, but um, you have you've always had the roommates. Is that a found family situation, or is that
Well, so um, yeah, to some degree. So I've always been close to my mom, and uh, still am, and I'm still. My parents are my parents. They haven't. Uh, they didn't hate me for existing, um, and my mom the most, but like um, uh, my dad tries to learn, and uh, he doesn't misgender me anymore. Like it just took him a lot more time. And it was harder being in the same house
yeah,
for me emotionally. So yeah, um, like they're they're really close friends. So
well, that's good. Um,
yeah,
and are you're good with your roommates and all of that? Let's cause some
yeah,
trouble. Let's cause some trouble with your living situation.
sure.
You
No, it's because I'm not too worried about it. Like honestly, um, I mean, one of my roommates is the virus. He did like all the he did the YouTube video that you really liked involving just explaining sports.
yeah. I well. he knows. Well, I told him at the time because we were starting to get a little friendly, and it's like, uh, and I actually couldn't remember when the last time we talked. It's like, oh right, yes, had already started transitioning. Okay, but yeah, as far as is, I
Oh yeah, I didn't update you on that. He's just dealing with job stuff. He's got like 3 scripts for a YouTube thing. I was just like, wait. So he will be out with stuff again.
oh, that's good. Um, what do you think your direction's going to be for your own channel? I know we've both been busy with the new thing with.
So I mean, obviously, uh, I've got. I tried to do a little bit of splitting with my YouTube channels. I've got the one I don't use, which is the learning channel, where I want to try to learn things. It's there. I've got an intro video. I haven't done anything with it, but that's fine.
I did notice. I went through all your stuffs.
Um, then my main channel, I'm just kind of doing whatever I feel like it. I'm doing my main channel, and then my politics channel is the one I'm going to try to do more. It's not that I'm not going to do serious stuff on my main channel ever. It's just it's going to be uh, more focused.
That's cool.
In terms of like the politics channel, like I said, I've got a video which I need to actually. The thing is, I haven't done the potential easy step of. Well, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be annoying, but because it's just 2 clips that don't render, so like 2 sources are not the sound isn't rendering from them. So I probably just have to re-download the video and recut it. Just uh, those 2 sources. It's just like 3 clips that I probably have to do something about. But well, I mean,
It's
then again, those clips are also cut up somewhat. So yeah.
it's I do this. I'm doing a couple of scripted things within the next couple of weeks, but I prefer this. I fell into it, and it's really it's one of those things where, you know what, I want to do another one of these this week, and that's kind of how this happened. This channel, the way the channel went. Um, I just interviewed a couple of people for fun, and it's been fun since.
Yeah.
I think the only time I veered off from that format was when I had that strange crisis of conscience for Trans Day of Remembrance, and I roped somebody I'd just met on Twitter.
I don't know. This seems like a strange event. You're going. Um, yeah.
I will tell you now, and this is something I haven't said, and excuse me, I just get stuck in chords here. The reason I asked you in specific is because I knew the one thing I knew right away is that you were going to be honest with me no matter what. And I could be completely wrong about that, but
no, that's that's really that's really sweet. Like amusingly enough, the video is about the problem with um, the problem with the problems I have with supporting people who are just uh, outright liars about political beliefs. So like,
yes,
because like you can't. like if you don't know why they changed their mind or why they're doing what they're doing, like how can you trust them? How can you trust that they actually care? How can you trust that they're gonna actually do the right thing, or or if they're just gonna turn around like as soon as it's convenient for them to just stop caring. I don't know.
That's um yeah, that's a uh the old New Yorker cartoon is still the benchmark on the internet. No one knows you're a dog. That's the entirety of the joke, and it's about anonymity and stuff, and it's I don't know. This is not to say, and I will say right up front say, but not that anybody else I know would have been dishonest with me in any way. There was you didn't know me that well. That helped.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, let's see here. I was on one episode of the that podcast, and then I was on one episode of oh, another thing. So it's on like two things before. So you're like the third.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did check. Of course, I checked you out beforehand because that's.
Well, yeah.
But
like you don't want to just be like, oh, I'm gonna ask about this, and I'm just like start going all white nationalist on you. And you're just like, oh shit, this is a mistake. This is a terrible mistake. And I want to, and now that's just gonna fuck with my time schedule. I don't have another person to ask.
Well, no, I didn't expect you to be white nationals. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. Obviously. Nobody expects it. It just comes out of nowhere.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, that's not true. Like you can see the little hints. Like, yeah, I still, yeah, I heard about Sargon. Well, I mean, Sargon already said white nationalist stuff. Sargon making more white nationalist statements isn't like a surprise.
Right. Well, we may or may not like Fosh, and I'm not going to ask if you like or dislike Fosh, but he certainly.
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll just like flat out tell you it. I don't like, but
he did spank Sargon yesterday pretty nicely.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, technically, I can agree with anyone about something. Like, I agree with a lot of Bosch's positions.
Yeah.
But, like, I disagree with some major ones. And, hell, like, Sargon has said something right before. It happens. Like, and sometimes you hate it, but like Sargon said that rationally rules had essentially moved to essence of thought's position, which is true.
Which is true.
And rationally rules back on that, but like, no, this is like the one. Like, I hate that Sargon's right about this, but he is.
Even a stop chud is right once in a while. I have no idea. I have to start saying goodbye, which I don't want to do.
Oh.
It's like.
But I wanted to talk more.
It's Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
We see each other every week. That's fine.
yeah, I
That's
know. That's plenty of time.
I no. I mean, I like talking to you. So it's
Yeah,
I'm
I like
wondering.
talking to you too. I have an idea for the the podcast after this week. Like I have an idea for that. So
Yes. What are we doing this week? I've forgotten because it started.
it's trans representation.
Oh, right. Okay, that's right. I was wondering. There's a whole bunch of stuff I have sitting on my
Yeah,
computer. I'm
I
like,
joked that I would pick myself for trans representation in social media. That's not true. Uh, well, I do have a pick for it. I'm going to leave that till the podcast just because I know we don't want to influence each other too much. But um,
yes, yeah. Let's leave it because I've got a particular thing I want to do too. So, uh,
yeah,
I was wondering why my brain just totally lost on it, and I'm like, why do I have all this stuff sitting open in my computer? There's got to be some kind of common thread. Oh, I would have gone back and looked. It's okay.
yeah, I know.
Anyways, well, I suppose I got it. All right, let me do the YouTube prayer, which is if you liked what
There's
you
there's
see,
there's so much more I could say about myself that I forgot to.
we will do again. I
Okay.
promise. Um, you and Sophia are probably going to be my regulars. You uh
Okay. Yeah.
and
Sorry.
and
The YouTube
and
prayer. Oh, sorry.
and and Mike knows who he is. Uh, uh, he doesn't go by that in his online life. The YouTube prayer, right? If you liked what you see, please consider giving it a like. Leave a comment down below. Anything that helps with the algorithm, because the algorithm is God. Uh, the Subscribe, hit the bell if you want to get notifications. I tend to put these up every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and if I don't, that means something went terribly wrong. Um, and what else is there? Mention me to your friends. Mention me to your imagine.
I just popped your channel again in the chat on the stream.
Very, very, very nice. Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
I,
Thank you.
I feel a bit awkward saying to support Christy Abby's channel, but like because you know, chances are you're watching me on her channel. It's still more popular than anything I do stream wise, but
Well, that will change. I'm
potentially maybe I need to get enough of an audience for them to want to watch me stream.
it's it builds. It's I'm not expecting everybody to come like me and subscribe me immediately. I've gotten a few.
Which you should do immediately. You need to like, comment, and subscribe on Christy Evans' channel, and make sure to hit the notification bell or
Yes,
notification icon.
the notification icon and hit all. But yeah, actually leaving a comment apparently does more for the algorithm than anything else. Who knew? Um, uh, where? Oh, I got lost in the prayer somewhere. Oh yeah, yeah. Please tell your friends about it, and tell your imaginary friends if you want to. They'll listen. Um, and uh, your voice
My
matter.
imaginary friends already know about it, so there's no.
Your voice matters. Your life matters, and you matter. and loves to all the loves to all who need it. I'm trying to add a
Yeah,
thing at the end. I'm not doing
yeah,
so good so far.
and and well, I mean, I think you're doing a great job, Christiane, and you need to show that love and support to yourself too, because you're important too, and you matter.
I'm trying. Thank you. And wow, that is a very sweet note to end on. Thank you. Um, all right. Bye, my beautiful darlings.
Bye.
Say